When we think about notions of masculinity and manhood, we are often presented with a hypermasculine idea who basically matches all the attributes of a superhero. Huge muscles, and when it comes to their personality, they are shown taking charge. They're fighting the bad guys against all odds. They're confident. They're amazing. I decided to go in the direction of this route in my movie. The two men or boys in my movie are shown masculine, strong, able to cause damage, ready to stand face to face with anyone that stands in their way. One of them might die, but it will be heroic for sure. Also, we are rarely shown females playing important roles in action movies and are mostly used as comic relief for when the audience are bored and are presented as a side hobby for the main characters. Not just gender conventions, I wanted to comment on my genre's perception of toxic masculinity, to expose it and not as a source of pride. Toxic masculinity is a very controversial idea, but it basically means the ways men, in attempt to appear more masculine, take over traits that are harmful to themselves and to others. I wanted to highlight how toxic masculinity is related to men, as they are shown to be the ones associated with guns and mafia in the movie, and this is the convention I wanted to go along with. However, because the nature of my film is very ambiguous, I understand different interpretations could be placed on my film. So the other interpretation that a lot of people who have seen this movie have had is that it's about self-defense more than mafia, as both of them grew up protecting themselves, but later on ending up becoming hitmen. Self-defense is a countermeasure that involves defending the health and well-being of oneself from harm. With social issues and identities out of the way, I wanted to address genre conventions. Action movies are based on the good fighting the evil and are about characters who rise up and overcome problems in their life. Moreover, action movies don't involve superheroes and have a normal protagonist who is like us but somehow ends up having a distinctive feature. This convention is used and followed in my movie as two men are shown and both of them consider themselves the good and fight against the other who they believe is evil. Moreover, both of them have overcome obstacles in their life, which is another followed convention. Both the protagonists are relatable, and that makes the movie more attention grabbing for audiences. Another convention that is followed would be the excitement of life and death, as the last shot indicating that they tried to shoot each other brings an element of life or death in the movie, thus either intriguing the audience of what happened next or allowing them to create a conclusion on their behalf of who died and who lived. One convention of action movies that my movie does not follow is the protagonist having a special gift, as both of them are normal men and do not possess any special gifts and are just experienced in what they do. Another convention that is followed in my movie is the protagonist's goals to stop the antagonist. Even though both of the main characters are shown as protagonists in the product, which is unconventional, Jonas, aged 22, is trying to stop Eric, aged 19, which follows the convention of an action movie. On the other hand, I would like to move forward with the fact that one convention that my movie does not follow is that there are multiple lives at stake, for example, the world ending. And this is not shown in my movie whatsoever. Another convention that is not followed by my movie is that the antagonist is stronger and more powerful than the protagonist, as both the protagonists are shown to be equally deadly and are about to face serious competition, thus increasing excitement. Part 4. For social conventions, I wanted to differ from how most action films use age, but I went along with how they use gender. Here, the victims are mostly the women, and often the men have to work in order to save the day, or in other words, put themselves in danger, with women only playing a passive role. When it comes to age, I followed a very unconventional route, as I showed a very young hitman, Eric, aged 19, against a hitman who is 22, named Jonas. And both of them are described as experienced, which does not follow the conventions of age in action movies such as John Wick, The Italian Job, and Christopher Nolan's Tenet, which shows protagonists as men that are in their 30s or late 20s to say the least. In conclusion, for the most part, I would say that my film chooses to go for a more conventional route rather than going for an unconventional methods going altogether. In terms of technical aspects such as lighting, lighting, it goes for a conventional route too.